Hi guys, so today is day 9th of the MCO, and the Health Ministry press conference today reports that we have already crossed 2,000 cases of COVID-19, and well, as we expected, this is when we really see this is when we will still see the numbers peaking, because all these cases that are popping up now, these are the cases these were the people that were infected before the MCO took place. So it will be another few days before we really see any reduction, hopefully reduction in number of cases, and that is when we will really see the effectiveness of the movement control order. So right now, what's happening here, I am putting the Waja down here in well, just see the gentleman walk past. Okay, so the Waja is here. I'm starting the engine. Let the alternator charge the battery, and while it's running, I'm just going to show you some of the things in this car that I've spotted that will need fixing once this MCO is over. So as you may recall, in the previous video I mentioned I'm actually considering to let this car go. Why? Because over the last 6 months, this car and the E39 together combined have been very underutilized. So I think it's no longer right for me to hoard so many cars in my garage. I'm not actively selling this car, so if let's say like in 6 months down the road, 7 months down the road, if this car is still with me, that's perfectly fine. But if somebody out there, if somebody out there, you find that this car would serve a more useful life under your watch, I'm ready to listen to offers. Okay, but of course I'm not selling the car in this state, because there are a few things here that require fixing, and I'm going to take you through them now. Okay, so to run a recap, this is a 2007 car. All right, it's the facelift model, but before they introduced the CPS. So my car is still running the original Campro engine, 110 horsepower, doesn't even have IAFM. Okay, but it's the one with the facelift nose. There was a time where Volkswagen supposedly was trying to buy over Proton, didn't work out. But at that time, they restyled the Waja's front end to resemble the Volkswagen Bora. So then you will be saying, hey, how come mine has the facelifted nose but the pre-facelift tail lights? Well, the answer is because the original tail lights that came with the car kept on leaking water. Why it leaks water? It's because the brake light bulb, okay, the halogen bulb, gets too hot. It melts the casing, lets water in, and sometimes the water fills the taillight assembly, and it leaks into the boot. So after two leaked taillights, I decided to just change it. Transplanted these pre-facelift taillights. Would you believe it? Right, when I bought these taillights, when I started looking for these taillights about 3-4 years ago, I went to the spare parts shop. I asked, do they have these taillights? And I was surprised. I couldn't get them. I couldn't get brand new original units of these taillights. So I got a set of used ones from Muda. All right, and when I installed them, then I found that you can physically install this, but the wiring is not directly compatible. You need to do a bit of wire splicing to get in order for these tail lights to function properly. Now see, this tail light, right, has signal light, reverse light. This is the rear fog light slot that's unutilized. There are 2 tail light bulbs here, okay, and then this one also doubles as a brake lamp bulb. The facelift model only had signal light, reverse light, and 1 bulb to use as headlight, as tail light and brake light. So yeah, the wiring is a little different, and yeah, if you want to do a conversion between this and the pre-facelift tail lights, you need to do a bit of wiring work. Okay, now the other change that I made here is, you would see that my car comes with twin tailpipes. Of course, from the factory it came with a single tailpipe, but a few years back somebody rear-ended this car. It was a very gentle collision, no damage, but what happened is that it caused the tailpipe trim to drop off, and there was a sharp edge on the tailpipe, which, you know, especially after now that I have kids at home, that's too dangerous. So I got rid of that and took the opportunity to upgrade the car to give this twin tailpipe look. These are not the original CPS or 1.8 tailpipes. I got this from an exhaust shop near my house, but the I specifically asked for a less noisy one because, you know, I don't want the car to sound too beng lah. Okay, so as you can see here, the Campro 1.6 badge come off, so it's going to be scraped off, and this Waja badge also has lost its shine long ago. And you see, here is something that I did not understand with Proton when they did this update to the Waja's appearance. When they did this, you see, the thing is that, right, with most cars, by right, your rear end is where you should have the logo of your brand, but there is no Proton branding here at the back of the car. There's just only the Waja wording and the Campro wording, which I think to me is a bit of a badging blunder on Proton's part. So I don't know. Later when I send this car for a repaint, definitely these wordings will go, because they won't survive the repaint. But I'm wondering, what should I do? Should I leave this blank, or should I get one of those the pre-facelift you know, trim piece with the Proton logo here, or should I? Or the other one is the other solution I was thinking of is, you know, now the X70, the new Persona, all that, now they have the Proton wording across the boot. Maybe I want to get that, put that there. I don't know. Still thinking. And when I do the respray job, I'm also wondering, do I want to leave this section unpainted to create a diffuser appearance? Who knows? All right. So I'm still thinking about that. Okay. So let me just show you again. This color is called metal gray. The reason why we chose this color is because it reminded me of the vanity teal color that they previously offered with the 1.6 premium 1.6X model. Okay, so these are my headlights. They are glass, by the way. Okay, this I think probably this is the only modern car I've seen in recent times with still a glass headlight casing. Yep, halogen projectors. Okay, and so here, this is the front grille. I'm also wondering whether should I when we respray this car, should I make this black? Should I make these two slats black? Okay, and make this corner here black as well. Still thinking about that. The fog lamp lens here, this is cracked, but this light is working. This light is working. This one is not. This one is broken. So this one I need to replace this. Right? This is glass also. This one is glass also. This needs to be replaced. The whole fog lamp casing, this whole thing, right, needs to be replaced. And yeah, I haven't gotten around to that. Okay, so let me just show you the exterior condition of the car. Now, confession time. This car is not accident free. I did get into an accident before in this car. The front end was a front end impact. All right, no chassis damage behind here. There was the engine itself was unaffected, the suspension was unaffected, but I did need a new bumper, I did need a new bonnet as well. And as you can see, the shop that did this job at that time did not do a terribly good job. So yeah, the car, this alone definitely needs a respray, but because the whole car's paint has degraded over the years, I'm going to just respray the car entirely. Okay, yeah, so exterior wise, right, the car needs a new paint job, and the fog lamps the left fog lamp needs to be replaced. If you are anal about it, maybe I'll replace a pair, because this one is still working, but the lens is cracked. Okay, so maybe we'll replace that as well. And of course, when I do the repaint, I'll have this section painted. Okay, because this is You see this, the Waja standard spec, right? This is unpainted. This is black. The whole side mirror is black. But the 1.6x, the 1.8x, as well as the CPS models, they have this piece here painted. So I'm going to get this painted. I'll have these visors, door visors removed. Never liked them. Okay, and yeah, still got my AAM sticker here, but this one all need to peel off already. Okay, as we all know, the early batch, the first batch Wajas, they had the Proton logo here, then they removed it. So when we got this one, I was thinking, hey, it'll be nice to put a sticker here. So I put the AAM sticker here as well. Back then we were all AAM members. Now I also have to be frank, the bodywork of this car, I'm sure it actually looks pretty good on camera, but there are a few battle scars there. All of them needs to be touched up before I put it in the market. The wheels, these are the original wheels design, but they are not the original wheels that came with the car. Why? Because somewhere along the way, the original set of rims got bent. So I changed the new set. Actually, I was thinking I wanted to get a different design, but the shop I went to didn't have these rims are used also, of course. I wanted to get a different design, but the shop I went to didn't have a different design that was also 15 inches. I wanted to maintain 15 inch. So yeah, so this is what I had. So I decided I'll just stick with original lah. Actually, what I really wanted at that time was the 6 twin spoke design that they introduced in what I think in 06 or 07, just before they were offered in the batches just before mine, and they were also offered in the CPS variants. I was looking for that rim design, but was not available, and I needed to fix it immediately. So yeah, didn't go through with that. Okay, so that concludes the exterior walk around. Let me just show you the engine. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the engine. The battery is pretty recent. This is the battery, pretty recent. All right, that's the ABS module. Got this fixed a couple of about a year or two back, right? So yeah, the failing ABS module, it's a common failure. The solution is either you get a used unit, replace this with a used unit, or live with the ABS warning light, or you can watch my previous video. There's this guy John, he does repairs to the ABS module at a very, very reasonable price. Okay, so one thing that I noticed, that the pulley of this car, the drive belt pulley of this engine needs to be replaced. That's going to be one of the first things that I replace later on. All right, as you can see, I'm not a big fan of cleaning up the engine bay. I don't do much engine cleaning, but you can see this is how the engine is. All right, engine runs smoothly. Okay, one thing that will need replacement later on is that. Okay, that is the reverse light switch. It works very sporadically, so I'm gonna have that replaced as well. Okay, and I just noticed this. You see that water there? Okay, I'm gonna have that checked to determine what's that. If that's something that I should worry about. Okay, but don't worry lah guys, whoever that ends up buying this car, I will be sure to have it fixed properly before I even consider letting it go, before I even consider taking a deposit. Why? This car has served me well for the last 12 years. It is only fair that I let it go, that I send it off in its best possible shape. Okay, before I step in, these are paint marks. How did I get this? Well, it all came together with this as well. This one was a bit of carelessness on my part. This happened when I was still dating my wife. We were getting ready to get married, and I went to her house, all right, her father's house, my father-in-law's house at that time, to do some painting, to paint the place before our wedding. And I well, I got paint on my hands, got back into the car, and left these marks that remain here. But of course, these will go right when I repaint the car. Not so sure if I can do anything about these guys though. Right? Okay. The seats. These are the seats from the outside. Now, obviously, the driver's seat is the one that's most used. So this leather here has seen some wear. All right, not in the best of shape. But let me just show you the rear seats. Okay, the rear seats are not as frequently used, so you can see they're still in splendid shape. Okay, that's my child seat there. This is the armrest. Yes, this car has armrest. Brilliant, right? It also has 60/40 split folding seats. Okay, 60/40 split folding seats. Okay, of course the child seat there is blocking the movement of the seat, so I can't demonstrate it to you. Got individual adjustable headrests. Lovely. Okay. Oh yeah, then just show you. Check out the leg room. It's not bad. Okay, it's not bad. And I'll just sit inside to show you. Good. Well, actually the thigh support is average lah, but it's definitely better than the previous generation Persona. But the current gen Persona, the Persona VVT, the one that we used to have but sold which we replaced with the S-Max, that one had better rear seats than the Waja. Okay, so let me just show you here the interior. Besides the seats, the steering wheel definitely needs work. Okay, I can't sell the car with the steering wheel looking like this. This one, what happened here? Steering lock. Okay, this was the work of the steering lock. So nowadays I don't use the steering lock so often anymore, but definitely I need to. I'll send this somewhere to have this refinished. Okay, and I'll have the steering rewrapped as well. Okay, the dashboard. Okay, this is the instrument cluster. Mine has the chrome rings, like the E39s actually. My E39 one also has the chrome rings. All right, and this is the current mileage of the car. And let me just show you. So I last serviced this car in November 2019. Now is March. 4 months ago. 4 months ago, the mileage was 184,000. Now it's 185,000. So this is the main reason why I'm considering to sell this car. That's it. It's simply because of underutilization. All right. Yeah, so here's the center console. So my version of the Waja has this rounded center console shape. Aircon blowers. The reason why is, those of you who own the first batch Wajas, you will know the original design of the Waja aircon vents don't blow air to the passenger side. So this one solved that, but as a result, it looks kind of like an afterthought, really. Many of the early batch Wajas also retrofit their dash with this aircon vents. Design wise, really not that attractive. Doesn't fit the whole look of the dashboard, but way more usable. And also a word about the quality of this cabin. Now, before this, my household, we had two Wajas. All right, we had this one, and we also had a 2005 Waja. This is the same one that Chris V has. And I can tell you something. When we had the two Waja side by side, when I sat in both cars, right, there is a significant difference in the quality of the interior. And I have to say, this one is way better than the 05 car. The materials usage, the fit, and the overall fit and finish, everything, right? It really felt Proton improved the Waja's cabin build quality by leaps and bounds when they went from that to here. Okay, in fact, some would argue that this version of the Waja, as we see here, this is how the Waja should have been right from the start. Okay, now of course this little bracket here, Chris likes to claim credit that he's responsible for this bracket because he had the opportunity to drive the pre-production version of the Waja before its launch, and they found that, and one of his feedback to the engineers was that this piece vibrates severely, and the Proton engineers' solution was to put this bracket here to support. And now every time when I drive this car, I've got a reminder of Crispy right here sitting, staring at me in the face. Okay, so come down here. All right, all this is in good condition now, but I have to confess also, the lights, some of the lights in this dashboard not working. In the instrument cluster also there are a few burnt bulbs, so I have all that replaced. Okay, and yeah, so this is the gear lever, and you see I like that it is a ball shaped design, so it makes shifting very easy. Okay, and what I really love about this is that how the shift action is very precise. Okay, very precise. Throw is slightly long, all right, but very precise, very nice to use. So when you're driving, especially when you're driving enthusiastically, you don't miss a shift that easily. But sometimes, right, going from first to second, or when you're downshifting from third to second, the mechanism can be a bit stiff. So you do need to very quickly double clutch. There are sometimes you just need to quickly double clutch so that the mechanism goes in easily. I can't explain why it's like that, but that's how it works, and it's even stated in the user's manual. Okay, I'll have this fixed too. All right, so let me just show you as well the head lining. This is the head lining. Okay, this part a bit worn, a bit worn here, but the rest of the head lining, there you go. Okay, in decent shape. Let me just show you the boot. Okay, so here's the boot. The little small enhancement, I put this on. It's just a reappropriated lanyard. All right, so the idea is that so that when you close this boot, you don't have to pull it from the outside. Just pull this one and the boot will close. Okay, so this boot floor, okay, this did not come with the car. This boot floor actually came with the 05 car that my mother previously had. So when she sold that car, I swapped the boot floor. Why? Because the one that came with my car did not have this panel. It did not have this panel, and it did not have all this barang in there. So this tray here, together with these little bottles, these were there for the Waja, for early batches of the Waja. Then when time came to mine, they probably decided to cut a little costing. They removed all that and they removed this. So before we sold that early batch car, I song up this and transplanted it over to mine. All right, so underneath here is the space saver spare tire. All right, okay. And as you can see, all right, this car has got the touch from Autofoam. So the NVH suppression of this car, as well as the chassis stiffness, is slightly better than most Wajas out there. Okay, so yeah. Okay, guys, so that concludes my quick walk around of my own car. As you would expect during this MCO period. Yeah, this car is definitely not open for viewing. Is even if you are interested in it, even if you have a firm interest, I will not be taking deposits for this car. Certainly, once this MCO is lifted, once the movement control order is lifted, then I will announce at a later date when I'll make this car available for viewing, for test drives. But no, but definitely, if you're talking about taking a deposit, I will not be taking deposits until this car is fixed to my satisfaction. All right. So whoever that, those of you guys who, if you're thinking of taking this car off my hands, be assured that when I hand the car over to you, it will be in tip-top shape. It will be in a condition to my satisfaction before I let it go. All right. Cheers.